Multistrada. Say it right. This sounds ridiculous! What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on Proven Power Cycles. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric. I'm the tuner here at Proven Power Cycles, and I'm really excited about this episode because this is going to be the first new episode, first episode rather, in the new dyno room, and I am stoked to show you guys the new dyno room. So we still have a little bit of work to go. I gotta hide that cable, we gotta clean off all the toolboxes and stuff, but we've been down about 2 weeks now trying to finalize the move into the new dyno room, and well, here we are, and standing on the dyno currently, and we today, going to the point, we have a 2012 Ducati Multistrada, so why not make it a challenging first tune on the dyno, you know? It's actually from another shop that does a lot of suspension work, road course bikes, things like that. It's another local shop called Corsa Motorworks. Great guys, they specialize in Ohlins suspension. Great group of guys, we really like them. We work hand in hand with a lot of projects. So they primarily focus on road course style racing, which is still tons of fun. But today, like I said, we have this Multistrada here. We couldn't tune it, so this has been a little bit of an ongoing project between us and them. We could not tune it based on the previous exhaust setup that they had, so they went and made modifications to the exhaust. Put in some wideband bungs on the front and rear cylinders so that we can actually get a very good tune. And we're gonna flash and tune this thing using Woolwich Racing products. And yeah, give this guy a pretty damn good tune. So right now we're getting everything set up. I gotta get the last little step I gotta do is throw on the fans, the cooling fans here, boom and boom. They go on either side of the dyno here, but once I get those last little bit of fans on there, then we can finally get the room up and running and get this thing moving here. So really excited to see what this does. I'm gonna get the camera set up. I'm gonna try a couple different camera angles here and see which one works the best. But all in all, guys, welcome to the new dyno room, and let's get this thing tuned. Alright guys, so we just got done doing the baseline on the Multistrada, and I wanted to go over the numbers really quickly. So we were having a weird issue with the bike, honestly, with it revving out all the way. Still kind of up in the air as to what it was happening, but it would kind of get up to a certain point, and it was almost like we were limited on the throttle. So we're getting it worked through, though. We're kind of messing with it a little bit. It is a Ducati. It is a little funky, but we're gonna do a little bit more digging. But all in all, we did end up getting a full power run at full throttle and everything. So this was the only one we could really get it to do full throttle at. So we're gonna go over the numbers really quickly. So far, we have hit 135 wheel horsepower with almost 100 pound, at 79.8 pound-foot of torque. And notice on the graph here, we have like this really dead spot, and it wakes back up here. We have a very lean air fuel. This is 14.2 AFR going into the higher RPMs. Yeah, it's a little bit lean. We'll pull up, this is the cylinder 1 here, but we'll pull up, at the end of it all, we'll pull up the air fuels on everything and go over all of it. So all in all, not too bad. We definitely have a lot to work with this graph, but I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up a lot. I'm expecting to pick up some power right in here, obviously up top when we enrich it all up, but we're gonna play around with some other odds and ends in there. And all this kind of lacking power, you know, these kind of loops here, these you know, hills and valleys, more or less, you know, kind of comes up, plateaus, comes up, plateaus, comes up, plateaus. So we're gonna do a lot of work with that and get that to smooth on out, get a much cleaner power band for them. So On that note, let's get busy. Alright guys, we got the Ducati all tuned and it jumped quite a bit. I'm actually really happy with the numbers. And you know, it's weird because the bike on one run it would run rich, and then the very next run it would run a little lean. It kind of had a little bit of inconsistency still, but that also might have something to do with like the compensation tables kind of built in the background that we don't really have access to through the ECU. For instance, like just to give you guys an example, like let's say coolant temperature rises to a certain amount, the ECU will do different things based on that coolant temperature setting. Same thing with like intake air temps. So if the intake air temps go up, same song and dance, it might pull timing, it might pull, you know, it might add fuel. There's these different things that bikes will do sometimes in the background that we can't really mess with in the stock ECUs, but not really saying as an excuse, but more so to educate you guys. Not all the time is it kind of apples for apples. So sometimes I'll do 3 back-to-back runs and you'll see little discrepancies between each run. And a lot of times it's kind of, you know, like what the hell's going on? But a lot of times it's those compensation tables working in the background. So, but anyway, let's go over the numbers real quickly and let's see how this thing did. All right, guys. So just to kind of give you a rundown really quickly, we baselined at 135 wheel, and that was when we can actually get a good run off. This bike was actually a challenge. If I were to show you all the baselines, all the runs kind of end short because we were having a strange issue in the very beginning of all this. The shop was rather, so we kind of diagnosed it with them. This was a while ago, but all in all, came in at 135 wheel horsepower with almost 80 pound-foot of torque, and is ending with 144 wheel horsepower with 86 pound-foot of torque. Look at the gap that we have here. This is around 8,500 RPM or so. We jumped from 120 to 133 wheel horsepower. We had a 13 wheel jump going into that upper RPM range. But all in all, cylinder 2 mimicked this, but we had a very, very, very lean mixture going into the upper RPM range. 14.0, it got all the way up to about 14.2 over here. And then it kind of got a little fat here, and then it got a little lean up over here at the stab, which is kind of a normal occurrence that we normally see here. So now I do have this exploded, so even a line that looks pretty tall is only a 13.3, but I believe this was like a 13.5. But oddly enough, right here at this spot on the RPM range, I don't have access to. So I have access right here, and then I regain access somewhere around in here, around the 8,500 RPM mark. So there's a gap in some of these jumps that you see here. There's a gap that I can't get to. All right, so and that's for cylinder 1. Cylinder 2, yeah, you can see the gaps there. That's the final run there, so you can see kind of in the in between. So this is around like 5,700 5,800 RPM. It goes from it gets around a 12.8, which honestly that's normal. And then I get it again around here, around the 6,400 mark, and we're at 13.3. So again, 1% off, you know, when we start to get back into the groove of things. And then right in this area, this like 7,400 ish, I don't have anything to say to do with it. I get it back around here, around 8K or so. I get the control back. So we get these weird sweeps in the AFR, but all in all, it's still overall happy. When I run consistent runs, it's pretty consistent, pretty happy. So cylinder 2, able to map it out, got it pretty damn close as well. We had a couple little lean spots, like I said, in between sections, rather. But we end up getting it back under control at the big end here. So all in all, great power. And let's take the single graph. We'll just take the comparison, guys. Massive gains. And look, before we were losing horsepower right in this range here. We started to lose horsepower and torque. If you look at both of them, we lost horsepower and torque. And then we started to pick it back up. So this thing rode like crap. Now we have no power loss. We have a slight plateau right here, but it gains again. So there's no power loss in this power band. It just keeps going up. So big difference. That's going to feel massively different when you're riding the bike. So instead of it having like a dead spot, like a little lurch, and then it kind of takes back off again and puts you in the back of the seat again, you're not going to feel that. It's just going to be a consistent pull through the whole power band now. So I know these aren't like the most popular bikes out there, I get it, but all in all, you know, you get the exhaust set up just right. We actually have the ability to see the actual AFRs and to do a real tune on this thing. You know, that makes a world of difference, honestly, a massive difference whenever you're trying to figure this stuff out. So all in all, glad we did it like that. 2 totally different maps per cylinder. They require different fuel mapping altogether. So I'm glad we split it like I was recommending them do. Now they should have a much cleaner pool throughout like I said, throughout the whole RPM range. So all in all though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to make it in the new room. I love my new room, so it's pretty dope. We still have a little bit of work to go, obviously. We still got some little things to do, but all in all though, very happy with the room so far. Tell me what you guys think about the new room. Tell me what you guys think about the Multistrada. Yeah. Leave a comment, leave a like, share it if you want to with your Ducati buddies. And yeah, man, thank you guys. We appreciate you. And as always, we'll see you on another episode.